Okay, so let's build a ball diff. And ball diff is great for most track conditions. It can go from high bite all the way up to loose, and it's ideal for a dirt car, definitely. And the only time I would suggest not using a ball diff is when you've got a clay or something that's very high bite, that you're not really struggling for traction. You can use the gear differential and kind of save a little bit on wear and tear on parts, as well as keep the car a little bit more consistent. So the first step is to put these carbide balls inside the gear. And how I do that is I take my pick and I just get some diff lube on the end of it, and it kind of acts like a magnet to the ball, and just go right around the gear and put all of the balls in. Okay, so now that they're all in, I do want to get a little bit of lube on the rings, and then some lube on the out drives itself. So building a differential is kind of a subjective thing. Some people will do stuff like sand down these rings to give them a mirror finish, and that will make the diff action on your car much more smoother than just out of the box like this. So that's, if you want to play around with that, I definitely highly recommend that. There's also companies that will sell polished diff rings for you as well. But you're going to be going through a lot of diffs through the course of your buggy, so this is going to be a good start for a initial long-lasting diff. Okay, so I put the two bearings on the diff there, and now I can put the gear. Actually, I think what I want to do is take the second one off, put that on after I put the gear down. Like that. There we go. So now just press this in there, and you heard that clicking. That means that all the balls are now set in the gear itself. So they're setting directly in the center of the gear, which is where we want them. So this one is a little bit tricky. What I like to do is take my 2.0 and my 2.0 wrench, get the thrust bolt on there, and then start building it from there. And what you have to do is get all of these bearings around the bolt. So right now they're all sitting on the washer, and what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of pressure on and wipe the excess away, and make sure that I have the balls flush. Just like that. So that's how you build the cartridge. And we're going to go ahead and put this in here. Push it in with my 2.0. And then it will thread through here. Okay, so now in order to get it to tighten and compress the diff, we need to use this T-nut. And so I'm just going to clip this off. And the other thing is the T-nut will compress the spring. And you want to pre-compress the spring with a set of pliers just so it's ready to go. So there, got that set. So you first put the spring in, let it slide down, and then put the T-nut. And you push that down all the way. I'm just going to push it down with my pick here. And then go ahead and start tightening it up. And you don't want to tighten the diff up all the way. Because if you tighten it up all the way, you could flat spot the balls. And then you're going to have inconsistent action. But what you should notice is that the T-nut will start to compress that spring, and you'll start to get you'll be able to feel those rings riding on the balls inside the diff. So I get it where it's not all the way tight, and you want it to compress the T-nut down almost to the outdrive, but not quite, and you'll be able to feel resistance on there. And this is a little bit of an art to tightening the ball diff. Once you get it tight, again, you don't want to over tighten it. We're gonna get it put in the car, and we're gonna actually wear in the ball diff using the car. So we'll hold one wheel and we'll do the throttle, and that will wear in one side, and then we'll flip and do it on the other side. And that'll be a good way to wear in the diff. And then also you're going to have to adjust the diff first time for the track and make sure that your diff is acting the way you want it to act. So this little dust cover can go on this side. Like that. And this one can be kind of tricky to get on, but there you go. There you go, one completed ball diff.